Hermit Thrush.
Okay. I don't
Thank
know.
you,
I haven't
Hermit Thrush.
reached, but go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. He says, last chat, did you see that NASDAQ wants to institute diversity quotas for company boards and that failure to comply could result in being delisted? That's a question for Carter because I don't even know what the NASDAQ is. I'm
Well, I
kidding.
did not see it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the answer is no. I didn't see that. But I want to say it's not surprising, but that's a little bit too. That's me trying to be too cool. I'm surprised by that. That's a step I didn't think the Nasdaq was. I didn't think they were that close to making a step like that. That's interesting. It'll be interesting if they do it. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny that we're told all this stuff is a social construct, and yet we have all these rules based on the idea that you can tell who is what thing.
Yeah.
Like if it's a social
Yes.
construct, then I can just. I don't know if you remember when California instituted this thing for public companies. They have like you have to have a certain number of female board members, and no one took me up on it, but I did volunteer publicly to identify as a female for any companies that needed female board members. But yeah,
Well, that's because these things are not intellectually consistent. I mean, they will say, on the one hand, there are no differences. There are no biological differences between men and women, and you know, you need to stop distinguishing between them and saying these things are female and these things are male. And then they will say, we need female voices or bodies or what have you. We need female people
right.
on this board because we need diversity of ideas. Really?
Well, they don't actually say ideas. They just say we
Or
need
they don't even
diversity.
say of idea. We just need diversity. So if women are just like men, why does it matter?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that gets back to what we were saying before. That the magic words have no relation to reality. I will say that a lot of stuff happens. That's like the worst sentence ever. Is that clear? You got it? A lot of stuff happens, Carrie. At the end, I'm glad I could clarify. A lot of evil begins in the financial system because no one, not for this reason, but one of the reasons they can get away with it is no one pays attention to it. It's money seems so disconnected from reality. People don't understand what's going on, and so it just happens in the financial system, and they don't want to talk about it. And who gets excited about money? And a lot of bad ideas are only supported because there's an entire apparatus of a Federal Reserve and banking system and like all this stuff that's here that actually causes problems. Frankly, publicly traded companies are a problem. I mean, not as such. I mean, you having a company and wanting people that own shares of it is not a problem, but the amount of regulation distorts the market. It's not a free market. The amount of regulation required, just as an example, I think it was after the financial crash, but it might have been before that. Does anyone remember when Sarbanes-Oxley? I don't remember. But Sarbanes-Oxley, when it was introduced, I think it added like $15 million to the cost of going public. Well, that certainly affects your company, right? Certainly affects your ability to raise capital and go public. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that people just don't see. So if NASDAQ does this, it will have a trickle-down effect. It will impact other companies. It'll impact startups. It'll impact everyone. So